Peyton goes for 21. The Sonics and Rockets go back to Seattle for Game 6 Thursday night. Meantime, Michael Jordan and his guys, last time they were in their gym, they lost. Tonight they try to close out the Hawks. It's next here on TNT.
What time was it? Get done.
The world champion Chicago Bulls got back on track after a winning weekend in Atlanta, but now they're back at the United Center here in Chicago, where last Thursday the Bulls got a wake-up call, losing to the Atlanta Hawks. And tonight they look to close out the Hawks in their Eastern Conference semifinal. Tonight, Game 5 of the best of 7 with the Bulls out in front 3-1. And as expected, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen have been the big guns for the Bulls, posting these impressive numbers throughout the series. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Chicago. It could be a series clincher. The Hawks hope to stay alive. I'm Dick Stockton along with Hubie Brown, but it's a lot more than the scoring for Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen for what they've done in the series. Hubie.
Well, you just have to like the fact that they stepped up in the rebounding, Dick. Michael averaging 11 rebounds and Scottie at 6, plus the assist, and in their overall defensive play. But for the Bulls in games 3 and 4, they shoot their 48%. Then they dominate the critical period, the third quarter. A +9 in game 3, a +9 in game 4. You say, what else happened? The bench. The bench stepped up. Kukoc, Williams, and Kerr. 38 points a game, and that spelled it all. Solid defense, solid shooting, and Pippen and Jordan at the top of their games.
And Hubie, when you look at the Atlanta Hawks and analyze their woes, you don't have to go really far beyond shooting. That's what won the game for them in Game 2, and that's what really cost them in 3 and 4.
Yeah, everyone thought that once they would go home, Dick, that everything would work out. You can see 33% as a team, 31% in threes. Now, Phil Jackson makes a change. He puts Harper on Blaylock and Pippen on Smith, and look at the dismal shooting percentages. 10 for 29, 3 for 14 for Blaylock. That's minus 15 points over games 1 and 2.
Big deal about the calls on Dennis Rodman. Did you make a formal complaint to the league? Do you think things will change here in Chicago?
No, we found from experience that doesn't help. You know, there's usually a rationale behind it, and there's usually a judgment behind it, and we have to trust the judgment officials that they'll see. You know, that Dennis is sometimes a victim in these things, and you'll give him a break.
It's his birthday. You going to start him?
Well, that's still up for debate. You know, I told him today that Jason's played well enough to stay in the starting lineup, but we'll make a game-time decision on that.
Thank you.
Here in Chicago, the Atlanta Hawks going with their same starting lineup of Mookie Blaylock and Steve Smith at guard, Tyrone Corbin and Christian Laettner, the forwards, and Dikembe Mutombo the center. Ron Harper and Michael Jordan the guards, Scottie Pippen, Luke Longley the center, and Jason Caffey starting his 3rd straight game of the series. Right now, let's check in with Craig.
Well, Dick, Chief of Staff of NBA officials Daryl Garrison is here tonight, but he is not here because of rumors that he has been fired or that there's a conspiracy against Dennis Rodman. Here are the facts. His contract is up at the end of this season. Also, he is here because he's covering the East. He'll be in Miami tomorrow. Today he spent 2 hours with the officials working tonight's game, looking at 50 to 60 plays in the playoffs. Only one involved Rodman. Rodman has had 14 fouls in these 4 games. Luke Longley, 18. So maybe either Rodman's a marked man or maybe he's getting more attention because he's the worm.
Whatever, you have the nose for the news, Craig. Thank you very much for that report. And there is Dennis Rodman, who's celebrating his 36th birthday today. And Phil Jackson saying not sure how much Rodman will be used in this series, but knows he will need him for sure in the next series should the Bulls advance. The officials, Ed T. Rush, Ken Maurer, and Joe Forte.
If the Atlanta Hawks are going to get it done here this evening, in games 3 and 4, their main 3 scorers, Smith, Laettner, and Blaylock, shot 28%. That was a major disappointment.
And the tip controlled by the Chicago Bulls lost only 3 games this year at the United Center to the Miami Heat, the New York Knicks, and last Thursday to these Atlanta Hawks, but woke up big time in Atlanta. Michael Jordan missing the first shot of the game.
Let's see if Atlanta can get it going in transition, take advantage of possible mismatches by pushing the ball quickly.
And a steal by Caffey. But you made a good point. The bad shooting, but the defensive play of the Chicago Bulls playing a major role. And Jason Caffey playing it on the defensive end and picking up for the slack for Dennis Rodman, doing a good job against Christian Laettner. Here is Tyrone Corbin hitting a three. Corbin was hot in game number 1, did not score in Sunday's game 4.
Now they need him to pick up the slack a little bit because he's not one of the main 3 shot attempt people.
And Michael Jordan gets 3 for his first points of the game. So we have a swift opening to game number 5, and the Bulls lead by 1.
That was a beautiful slice cut by Michael from the opposite side.
Mookie Blaylock misses his first from the perimeter. Luke Longley gets the rebound for the Bulls. And Blaylock and Smith will have to hit their outside shots. And Harper gets free inside, and the Hawks showing very little defensive resistance in the early going, and the Bulls lead 6-3.
Dick, they're sleepwalking here in the first 3 possessions. That was just a simple give-and-go cut down the middle.
Steve Smith off the screen misses, so Blaylock and Smith each have missed their first shots of the game, and the Bulls playing with a lot of zest and energy in the early going. Michael Jordan misses from downtown, where he is 1 for 13 in this series.
The guy that you have to watch out for in this series is Scottie Pippen. He's attempting 8 threes a game, and he's shooting 45%.
Corbin shooting over Pippen, and misses, and Harper the rebound. Pippen getting down court, beating Smith. And the Atlanta Hawks, you said it right, sleepwalking, thus a 20-second timeout called by Lenny Wilkens.
Dick, if I'm Lenny Wilkens, I am so upset here. We have just attempted all long-range jump shots. The ball is rebounding long, so where are your guards? Where is Smith? Where Blaylock getting back defensively? Now keep an eye to the right of your screen. This is just a give and go. Harper down the middle on Mookie Blaylock. He's not even within 6 feet of him. Now here, as this shot is missed, watch how it kicks out. Now as they look down the floor, come on, where's Smith? Where's Blaylock? Anytime that long-range jump shots are going up, you know your 2 guards are always rotating back. If one of your guards is penetrating and laying it up, your small forward must be back with your opposite guard.
It's been too easy for the Chicago Bulls thus far, and 4 of their 5 starters have scored, with the exception of Luke Longley. Pippen, Caffey, Harper, and Jordan are in the scoring column. The Bulls are up by 5 with a little more than 2 minutes gone by. Pippen guarding Smith and has done a terrific job on him, playing the pass into Laettner. Caffey has done a great job on Laettner in Atlanta. The double team, and Laettner will go up with it. And the rebound by Ron Harper. Ron Harper has raised the level of his play big time in this series. And a 5-point lead. Caffey at the high post, Mutombo out to meet him. And Harper will be wide open for 3. And the rebound by Mutombo.
You'd like to see Atlanta Hawks understand that they've got to establish an inside game here tonight because they're hugging Smith and Blaylock out on the perimeter.
Hawks are 1 of 5 from the field, and Laettner is fouled by Jason Caffey. That's the first foul of the game.
Now, Jason Caffey has stepped in for Dennis Rodman in 27 minutes a game, 9 points, 8 rebounds. When you add Rodman's totals in there, what they're getting for 43 minutes, 10 points, 12 rebounds, nice solid contribution for the 4 position.
Here is Mutombo working against Luke Longley, and that doesn't fall for him, so the Hawks are 1 for 6, coming out ice cold, and Scottie Pippen loses his footing.
Luke Longley, there's somebody open here.
Longley gets it to Jordan. Jordan lost control, and the fall away off the glass and batted into the hands of Jordan. Longley with a great feed to Michael Jordan, who went backdoor, and the Bulls look like they're ready to move on. Jordan with his second basket.
Now you just love that the Bulls have come out, understand the importance of this game. We have a technical foul, and you can just see it right now. They are playing with a great deal of enthusiasm, have sharp, crisp movement. Now just watch this backdoor move by Michael coming, and naturally Mutombo's coming from the other side, but he's late.
Technical foul is on Michael Jordan, and Steve Smith, who has been the best free throw shooter at 84% for the Hawks, makes good, making it 10-4.
Now keep an eye on this back door. Now here comes Mutombo over the top. See, Michael Jordan is saw they give him a taunting.
Remember, Mutombo waved his finger and was embarrassed in Game 3 in Atlanta. Here is Leitner working against Caffey, who leaves his feet but does the job defensively again. Caffey has totally smothered Leitner, and now the Bulls leading by 6. Nearly 4 minutes have gone by in the first quarter, and Corbin with a hand check on Pippen. There is the shooting story. Atlanta coming out 1 for 7, and the Bulls over 50%.
Well, there's a frustrated coach, and he should be. You're going into Christian Leitner, a guy who has a height advantage and also an all-star player. He's not getting it done with his back to the basket. Jason Caffey is handling him physically.
Michael Jordan coming off the screen. The long rebound by Blaylock, and he gets it ahead to Corbin, and Tyrone Corbin lays it in. Only the second basket for the Hawks, who trail by 4. And the throw into Pippen by Caffey off his hands, and the Bulls turn it over.
Yeah, now that's a Michael Jordan just yelled to Caffey, why did you do that? I was standing here, there was no one with me. You know, make a short pass. You don't have to be threading a needle, throwing the ball out to half court.
Caffey in his second year from Alabama. Here is Blaylock, got a good look and hits from downtown. Mookie Blaylock, who was 8 for 9 in Game 2, the game the Hawks won. That's from three-point territory.
Now you get down in there and establish inside that you guys can get something done. Mookie and Smith will be open.
Here is the pick and spot up, blocked by Mutombo into the hands of Harper, who blocked Longley, and now Ron Harper comes back with a 3, and the Bulls are up again, 13-9.
Now that was a difficult move. Great head and ball fake in order to catch Blaylock up. Blaylock recovered. Harper still made the shot.
4-point lead, and Longley over the top defending, and Mutombo gets the basket and foul. The Bulls wanted a traveling violation, but Mutombo will have a chance for a three-point play. The personal foul is on Caffey, 2 on Jason Caffey.
Now at this end, keep an eye on Mutombo. Now this is going on its way up. Mutombo makes a clean block. The ball was definitely not on the way down. Now, in spite of the poor start by the Hawks, the soft defense, the score is 13-11, and Mutombo on the line.
Greg Sager talked with Phil Jackson coming into the United Center about Dennis Rodman, who's only played 18 minutes, UB, and now it seems that he's becoming a martyr because now it seems unfair that all the technicals he's gotten and they're not calling it evenly with Dennis. What do you think?
Well, you can see the only place that we have that feeling is here in Chicago. Now, you remember he also got away with a year ago a 6-game suspension for headbutting a referee. So now the referees are finally calling all of the fouls on Rodman that should be called, that are called on all of the other power forwards. There's the other power forwards in this league, the coaches who have to coach against him, that he, how should I say, through his feisty actions, the elbows in the head, in the back of the head, the shots to the lower ribs, in the back, the confrontations where he bangs into your player to try to antagonize him. Well, you know what? All of that is finally being called. Now, outside of Chicago, I would think that the majority of the teams are happy. Inside of Chicago, he has become a martyr because they know they need him to keep advancing in these playoffs.
He's had 9 technicals in the playoffs, has been ejected twice. He's in the lineup now. Michael Jordan gets the basket and the foul. 6 points for Jordan, and he will go to the line. Jordan already picking up a technical earlier, and the foul was against Steve Smith.
Now, Michael just hides right behind the screen and roll. And anytime that you get a defender to go under the screen, you can just stop on a dime, come back, and normally you can knock down a clear shot.
Jordan had 27 points to lead the Bulls in Game 4 Sunday, playing 43 minutes. And he scored 10 of the last 12 in the fourth quarter when the Hawks gave the Bulls a scare and cut it to 3 with under a minute to go. Mookie Blaylock over Harper, and the high rebound, and Longley picks it up. That's 5 rebounds already for Luke Longley. Longley's been in foul trouble throughout this series. And Blaylock on the steal. Jordan is back to defend. And Blaylock pulls up Leitner inside to Smith, and the Hawks played it well and got a transition hoop.
Well, the people want a charge right there because Harper was underneath the rim and took it, and that's that area, the gray area in the NBA where you're not going to get a charge call.
Bulls lead by 2, nearly halfway through this opening quarter. Chicago was up by as many as 7 early on. Longley has it knocked away, and they're going to call the foul, and that will be against Leitner, his first.
Now, this is just excellent anticipation by Mookie Blaylock on that high dribble by Jordan. Now, watch as he steps back. The defense reacts. Now, there's your charge drop-off. High school and college, yes, a charge. NBA, no.
Bulls with the ball, so Leitner, Corbin, and Smith each with a foul here in this first quarter. Jordan looking for an opening, finds it, and the long rebound into the hands of Mookie Blaylock.
Look up now, the big fella's open, right underneath.
And here is Corbin going baseline, lays it in high off the glass. The former DePaul star, Tyrone Corbin, who had 9 points in Game 3, but 14 in the opening game of the series, ties the score.
Say that anytime that you get the fringe points from Corbin and then also Mutombo, you know that you're rolling, and you hope that you can continue to keep it up.
Hawks weather the solid early start by the Bulls. Blaylock with a steal, and he won't be challenged this time around. And the Atlanta Hawks lead 18-16, their first lead since 3-2, so they weathered that early spurt by Chicago.
Once Lenny Wilkins called a 20-second timeout, this is the Hawks that played here in Game 1 and 2.
Scottie Pippen with a jumper at the free throw line misses, and the Hawks, with under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, have the lead in the ball. Blaylock very active in this game. Reverse layup is off, but Mookie is fouled and will go to the line.
Yeah, he stepped out of bounds. Steps out of bounds.
So let's nullify. That will nullify the foul situation, and Lenny Wilkins shaking his head. The Hawks at 50% shooting. After a slow start, they were 1 for 7.
There's no reason for the Hawks to play Chicago when they're 28, 29 feet away from the basket.
Here's Ron Harper. Longley with the offensive rebound. Luke Longley with his first points of the game, but he has already checked in with 6 off the board.
Now they need him to make his physical presence at 7'2", 295. They need his size in there.
Mutombo from Smith, and Mutombo is fouled and will go to the line.
We're going to show you Blaylock right here. Now just watch it. See, right there, he catches the ball. Beautiful steal. Harper thought he had a potential foul. This is Mookie's second steal in the quarter. Now he's off and running. Now he's starting to feel strong about his game.
Luke Longley committing the foul, and Mutombo going to the line. Mutombo has gone on the line an average of only 7 times in this series, and so that is surprising. You'd expect the big guy would go to the line a lot more. Earlier tonight on TNT, the Seattle Sonics stayed alive, winning Game 5 on the road in Houston, 100-94. The Rockets lead 3-2, and we'll have Game 6 for you Thursday night from Seattle. As that series is getting very close, and we'll have that time later on. A lot depends on what happens with this series. Hawks by 2 with 4:09 remaining in the first. Rodman setting a screen, and Scottie Pippen misses, but here's Longley with another rebound, and Corbin the rebound. 7 rebounds for Luke Longley here in the first quarter.
Well, he continues to get to the inside on Leitner.
Steve Smith misses a 3, and Jordan gets it out to Pippen. Blaylock is back, but Pippen has a height advantage, and we will have a loose ball foul, and that'll go against Mookie Blaylock, and that'll be his first personal for the Hawks.
Scottie Pippen very quiet in the early going here. He is not on the end of any type of wide open shots. He's 1 for 4 from the floor, but nothing has been easy.
Hawks by 2 with 3:40 remaining in the first quarter. Pippen now firing away, and you're right, he is way off. 1 for 5, and here comes the Hawks in a transition situation. And driving the baseline is Corbin, and they're going to call the offensive foul against Tyrone Corbin.
Now Lenny Wilkins, Stan Albach, all the coaches on the bench, everybody upset. You love the way Corbin is going, but right there, that is a definite foul. That's not even close. He was out on the college line, and that's far enough away from the rim.
Second foul on Corbin. So the Bulls looking to at least tie it up or take the lead. Leitner picking up Pippen on the switch. And here is Jordan shooting over Smith. Basket counts and the foul. Michael Jordan getting opportunities to go to the line after a basket. Now has 9 as Steve Smith picks up his second foul.
Now he's upset, but he definitely fouled him low before Michael elevated for the fadeaway. Now we show you, even if you challenge, now keep an eye on this now. Now you're going to see now once Michael starts, he catches them right there on the hip and in the thigh area. And that was so unnecessary. If you're not going to challenge the shot, why even touch him?
Michael Jordan with his second possible three-point play by virtue of a jump shot and a free throw, and he's got it. 10 points here in the first quarter for Michael Jordan, and the Bulls are up by 1.
In this series, Dick, Michael is only getting to the line 6 times a game, where during the course of the year, he's accustomed to getting to the line at least 10 times per ball game.
Smith getting around Pippen. Blaylock gets a good look for 3 and throws up the air ball. So Mookie Blaylock, who has hit the only one of 2 3-point baskets for the Hawks, misses it there, gets jeers from the crowd, and will take a timeout.
Michael Jordan with the ball on a screen and roll. Dennis Rodman sets the screen. Steve Smith is going to underneath. Jason Caffey's playing soft. So if Michael starts one way and then comes back the other, he will just shoot uncontested behind the screen. Because there is no help, all right, from Mutombo, stepping on it. There it is right there, Michael, in your face.
Well, you mentioned at the top how the Atlanta Hawks need to have Smith and Blaylock as well as Leitner shoot a lot better. So far they are combined 3 of 10 from the field. Jordan, of course, leading everyone with 10 points, and the Bulls lead by 1. So the Hawks, despite the poor shooting from the big 3, hanging in there.
Well, let's look at this series. In game 1, the Hawks with 2:10 on the clock, tie game. They go 0 for 6, they lose. They win game 2. Game 3, they get blown out by 20. Game 4 on Sunday, they're only down 3, and they get 3 possessions. They go 0 for 3, and Chicago wins the game. So they could have possibly won all 3 games.
That with all of the terrible shooting from the guard. Dennis Rodman, this is a jumper. Scottie Pippen keeps it alive with an offensive rebound. Under 2.5 to go in the first quarter, and Dennis Rodman hits a 3. Well, that'll get the crowd going. Dennis Rodman, 3-point basket. That was his first attempt in the playoffs, and he makes it good. Leitner spinning baseline, gets the foul, and Rodman picking up his first personal.
Now, once again, the offensive second chance points. This is their second chance on opportunity on this possession. Nice shot by Dennis, and you know that he will take them. He's not very bashful. So you must punish him at the other end of the floor. When you go to Leitner, he's got to show you strong move into the pivot and then drop step baseline and get Dennis to anticipate and catch him in the air, and that's what happened on that possession.
Leitner going to the line, makes good on the first. Want to remind you, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, the Knicks and the Heat. Knicks lead 3 games to 1, but you know the Heat will not go quietly down in Miami. Pat Riley will have them playing tough basketball. It's been a grueling series thus far. Tomorrow night on TNT, Game 5. Mutombo out to meet Rodman, who hit another one. That was a 2-point basket, and Dennis Rodman coming up with offense from long range. What a surprise. Blaylock coming back and hitting. And the score now, Bulls 26, Hawks 23.
We like to bring out the fact. Through Rodman's career, his career average is 8 points a game. And one season at Detroit, he averaged 12 points a game off the bench.
Only lately has he not been an offensive force, relying on the rebounding. Ron Harper hits a 3, and the Bulls lead by 6. Nearly matching their biggest lead. That's Harper's second from downtown.
Dagger's got to be careful. Right now, play tough, smart defense. Main thing for Atlanta now to stay within your high percentage areas.
Barely a minute remaining here in this first quarter. Mookie Blaylock misses from downtown, and Luke Longley gets the rebound. The Bulls leading by 6 can establish their biggest lead of this first quarter if they get a basket.
Atlanta cannot get a second shot.
Rodman with a turnaround, and on his 36th birthday, Dennis Rodman is 3 for 3 from the field and has 7 points. And the Bulls lead by 8, and this crowd couldn't be more delighted. Steve Smith by Mutombo with the stop. Good pass by Steve Smith, and the Bulls lead is 6.
That was a beautiful penetration by Smith. Once Luke Longley stepped across to the double team, Mutombo went right to the front of the rim. A beautiful pass by Steve.
Here is Scottie Pippen driving the lane and feeding Longley, who comes back at you to Dikembe Mutombo. Big first quarter for Luke Longley, and the Bulls are up by 8.
Longley and Rodman, the stars of Game 5 first quarter.
What we predicted.
That's right.
Offensively, right? 10 on the shot clock. Differential about a second. Mutombo misses the hook shot, and Rodman can't save it. There were 3 Bulls underneath, and they lost the ball. It'll be Atlanta's possession.
Now just keep an eye right now. Mutombo's laying off, saying, Dennis, you'll never make this shot. He puts it down. At this end right now, you have 6.6 seconds. Plenty of time.
And the pass to Mutombo from Blaylock.
Now watch, 5 seconds here.
It's a 6-point lead and plenty of time for the Bulls to get off a shot. Scottie Pippen working his way around Smith, fires it up, and misses at the buzzer. So Longley and Mutombo and Rodman had 11 points between them, but Dennis Rodman has scored more in this first quarter than he has in the first 4 games of the series, where he hasn't really played much, hitting from downtown. And after 1 quarter, the Bulls lead the Hawks by a score of 33-27.
Keep an eye on Steve Smith right here. He's going to dribble a basketball down. Luke Longley is going to leave Mutombo and trap the passer. Mutombo is going to step. It's Mutombo's job to create the passing angle. Just watch it. See, Luke Longley will help every time. Mutombo can step up and dunk almost at will, but he must create the passing angle for the man who is being trapped.
There's Mutombo, who had 9 points in the first quarter. Eldridge Rakasner has come in the game for the Atlanta Hawks. Steve Kerr and Brian Williams and Tony Kukoc. You mentioned the bench doing the job for the Bulls, and 3 of them are in there right now as we start the second.
Well, in games 3 and 4, Kukoc 14 points, Brian Williams 11 off the bench.
Smith trying to shoot over Kukoc. The rebound by Rodman. Leitner back to defend against Pippen, who goes to the hoop, and it's tipped by Williams. And Rodman tipped it finally into the hands of the Hawks, but the Bulls had a couple of opportunities.
If I'm the Atlanta Hawks coaching staff, I'm a nervous wreck because they're shooting almost until they score. That's a bad sign. And at the other end, Atlanta cannot get an offensive rebound.
Pass inside to Smith, and a blocking foul is called against Steve Kerr. 33-27, the Bulls lead early in this second quarter.
Now, Steve Smith is stepping in there. He's being fronted. They're looking for the lob pass. At the end of the quarter, Chicago 48%, Atlanta 48%. Offensive rebounding, Chicago 6, Atlanta 0.
Alan Henderson back in the game. He's had some fine moments coming off the bench for the Hawks. On the screen and roll, Smith trying to get it to Mutombo, but it's last touched by the Hawks.
The reason why that ball was knocked away from Mutombo, Rodman did an excellent job rotating down from the top off of Christian Leitner.
Nearly a minute gone by. We haven't had any scoring here in the second quarter. This is game number 5, and the Bulls lead 3-1, trying to wrap it up against the Hawks. Move on to the conference finals. Behind the back pass from Kukoc to Brian Williams with an iffy hook shot. Williams, who's given the bench a big lift with his big body and scored 7 points with 3 rebounds in Sunday's game.
But you can't forget that he's left-handed, and he loves that rolling hook shot.
Leitner with a fake on Rodman. And Williams gets the rebound. Leitner 0 for 3 shooting so far in this first half. Pippen is guarded by Henderson. Rodman setting a screen. 8 on the shot clock. Rodman behind the back to Williams. Foul by Henderson. The basket counts.
Excellent ball movement. Excellent ball movement and a great pass by Dennis Rodman. Now you're going to see Williams. Williams at his best. Last year he averaged 16 points for the Los Angeles Clippers, 8 rebounds. He can score down inside. Now that's a great pass by Rodman because they know the man is coming from the corner. That was a bad foul. Either make sure he doesn't get the shot off or let him lay the ball up and don't give them the extra point.
Brian Williams, who was signed. Bill Wennington was injured, not on the playoff roster. Williams has averaged 19 minutes in the last 2 games, so he is a very big part of the Bulls scheme of things.
Well, they have a 9-man rotation going, and it's doing well right now. Kerr, Kukoc, Williams, and then Jason Caffrey.
The 11-point lead for the Bulls is their largest, and the Hawks will have 10 seconds to attempt a shot. And a timeout. Phil Jackson's Bulls leading early here in the second. 8 o'clock, Game 5, Knicks and Heat, followed by Inside the NBA.
We'd like to show you that great play again. Now keep an eye on the basketball here by Kukoc. Rodman is coming in to form the triangle. Mutombo, who is playing Brian Williams, comes over to intercept, and then Brian Williams just goes right to the basket on this great overhead pass by Rodman. Rodman knows he's coming. Why? Because Mutombo comes across, opens it up. Bad foul by Henderson. Either put him down, don't let him make the layup, force him to make the 2 foul shots, or let him lay it up. Don't make it a 3-point play.
There's that bench story. The Bulls outscoring the Hawks 12-0 thus far. Steve Smith, this is short, and the rebound taken by Smith and last touched by the Hawks. Steve Smith arguing a little bit with Ed T. Rush. Smith 1 of 5. Leitner 0 for 3. Hawks not getting scoring from the 3 they really need to get shooting from. Here is Williams with a great feed to Kukoc. Couldn't control it. Now Pippen with 10 on the shot clock, but throws it off the hands of Brian Williams.
A stunning thing is happening here. Anytime that Chicago throws the ball into the post, the guy from the corner in the triangle goes baseline. He's open every time tonight. It's like this is the first time that the Hawks have seen the triangle. Come on, when that ball goes into the post, you got to stop the guy coming out of the corner.
Steve Smith loses control of the ball, driving to the hoop, and the Bulls come back with a 3-on-2. Tony Kukoc, who broke out of it with 16 points in Game 3. He's been unpredictable, Phil Jackson said, but you know he can find the mark from long range.
This is the best the second unit has looked in its ball movement. Why? Because Williams is in shape. Rodman is running well without the brace.
Minutes gone by in the second, and the Chicago Bulls have outscored the Atlanta Hawks 7-0. And of course, even Scottie Pippen admitted that perhaps our confidence wavered a little bit after the Game 2 loss at home, but they put it on with the 20-point victory in Game 3 and then withstood the late surge. But the Bulls feel that they themselves have learned something from that loss and now are back on track.
Well, they have to play at their best. Rodman and Kukoc had to get over their injuries, and then defense first, rebounding, and then the bench. All 3 have come together in Games 3, 4, and in the early going of Game 5.
Michael Jordan, who went to the bench at the tail end of the first quarter, is back. He has 10 points. There is the rebounding story, particularly the offensive rebounding, which shows the Bulls with an 8-1 edge. Longley playing a big role there. 13-point lead for the Chicago Bulls with more than 4 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Blaylock misses from the corner. So Blaylock, Leitner, and Smith are ice cold from the field. Jordan guarded by Corbin. And now Kerr picked up by Corbin on the switch. Blaylock is on to Jordan. And now Corbin picks up Michael Jordan. Kerr feeding inside, and it's picked off by Alan Henderson. Hawks have not had many easy opportunities so far in this game, and you have to credit the Bulls defense.
Absolutely. They're doing a great job in the screen and roll. They're trapping Blaylock every time. And this right here, they cannot make a drive to the basket. And that is their second offensive rebound. And you know how many shots they've missed. They're shooting a terrible percentage.
So the basket by Henderson is the first of the game, and a foul as Kukoc driving the baseline, and the personal foul is on Alan Henderson, his second.
Tony Kukoc ended the season by missing 25 games with a severe injury to his arch. It definitely affected his jump shooting, especially his three-point range. So he was sporadic in the Washington series and in games 1 and 2 in this series. But he definitely is moving with a lot of quickness here this evening. And I like the way that this unit is playing with confidence. First they played with Pippen, The big four out there, Rodman, Williams, Kukoc, and Kerr. Now they're on the floor with Michael Jordan.
Game 6 between the Sonics and the Rockets will be Thursday as Seattle, the defending Western Conference champions, won a big game on the road. Then they'll be home on Thursday. You'll see it on TNT as the conference semifinals get down to crunch time. Ricky Blaylock fires up a wild shot. And here comes Michael Jordan. The Bulls are up by 11, and Jordan, short with the jumper, and Mutombo gets the rebound.
Mutombo is really working hard. The young man is really doing a great job, but he needs some help here.
Alan Henderson fouled inside and will go to the line.
In this series off the bench, Henderson has been doing an excellent job. He's only getting 19 minutes, but in the 19 minutes, he's giving you 9 points, 5 rebounds, and shooting over 50%. An active body. But can the Hawks win with Leitner and Steve Smith not making heavy point contributions? I don't think so.
Be very difficult. Smith right now on the bench with 2 personals and only 3 points. Blaylock has 7 after an early spurt. Leitner only 1 point in the game. He is 0 for 4 from the field. Alan Henderson makes the free throw. And it's 40-31. 9-point lead. 7:20 remaining in the first half. Here is Jordan. Jordan tipped in by Rodman. They'll pay offensive interference.
Excellent call.
Dennis Rodman.
That ball was up above the cylinder when Rodman came in. There was nothing he can do about it because he made the commitment. He left his feet. Now keep an eye to the right of your screen. You're going to see Dennis come flying in here right there.
Right.
No, a ball is over the cylinder.
Now the Hawks, who are down by 13, have down now by 9. No basket. And a foul called against the Bulls, and Tony Kukoc with his first personal foul.
Henderson has been very active, very electric in this entire series. If he would continue to come into the lane and do a drop step, or what we call a reverse power move, he's going to be in heaven because he'll be taking the defender who's cutting off the lane and taking him strong to the rim.
And those numbers for Alan Henderson in this series better than he did in the regular season when he played only 30 games.
Oh, yeah. Leitner just laid a forearm right in the face of Rodman.
Now Rodman goes down. Offensive foul called against Leitner. And that's a good call because they missed the first one, but they got him on the second
They
one.
got him on that one, except Lenny Wilkins wanted Rodman pulling Leitner down in that charge. Now here's the now you're going to see as the ball goes away, as he makes a move, you're going to see he just pushes. That's a little bit of an act. But then as they follow up, Rodman grabs on to Leitner and pulls him into the charge.
Steve Kerr from the perimeter. Kerr has struggled from the field, but you know he can explode at any time from three-point range. 42-31, an 11-point lead. And once again, the Chicago Bulls getting a lot of production from their bench.
Well, you know one thing about Steve Kerr, he's not going to be disruptive to the offense. He's going to run his cuts the same way every time. If the shot is there, he'll take it, but he's not forcing anything.
Bulls have 16 points already off of their bench to 4 for the Atlanta Hawks.
Big thing with Steve Kerr, you got to keep a defender on him. So even if he's standing away from the ball, you know that there's a defender out of the rotation.
On the turnover, Steve Kerr bringing it up now to Kukoc. That last foul, by the way, was against Brian Williams. That was 2 on him. As we have 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter, Kukoc misses from long range, and Blaylock outmaneuvers Dennis Rodman for the rebound. Blaylock looking for room and off the glass. Kerr did a good job defensively, but Blaylock off the glass now has 9.
Now he forced that shot. Kerr was right up in there.
Bulls are leading by 9 points, and Kerr down the middle, reminiscent of the early moments of this game when the Bulls got easy layups.
That's that same 3-2 set. It's a wide, and we used to use that in our camp for kids from the 8th grade. You know,
I wish I had been there for that.
All you do is pass and cut, and the Hawks have not been with that cutter yet.
I knew I was missing something that summer.
There you go.
8th grade. 44-33, an 11-point lead now. Bulls have been in control of this game. Kerr is guarded by Blaylock. Now Jordan, who scored 10 in the first quarter, and Mike Michael Jordan has yet to score here in the second quarter in just under 5 minutes remaining.
And the main thing in this series, he's now 1 for 14 in three-point attempts.
Corbin trying to loop it inside, and it's off of Henderson, and a foul is called.
Yeah, that's frustration, Dick. Tony Kukoc got a piece of that lob pass. Henderson was not strong enough to hold him off. Now keep an eye now right here. You see, you got the lob. You just hold them. You don't have to try to get in front of them. Just hold them. There you go. But now watch. A great effort by Kukoc. And the reason? Because Henderson gave up the 3 feet. If you just hold them off with your forearm, you could have held them and you could have received the pass and laid the ball up. Frustration, foul.
Alan Henderson remains in the game with his 3rd personal foul. Kukoc on the bench and Mookie Blaylock replaced by Eldridge Rakasner. 4.5 to go in the first half. Scottie Pippen with a finger roll. Scottie Pippen with only his 2nd basket of the game is 2 for 8 shooting. But the Bulls are up by 13.
Yeah, the Bulls are showing us a great deal of energy in running the half-court triangle offense. Doing an excellent job. And when they go to the 3-2 open offense, great quickness.
And Leitner still can't find the range, nor can he convert on layups. He is 0 for 5 from the field. Jordan with a great pass to Brian Williams. And the Chicago Bulls opening up a wide 15-point margin here in the second quarter with under 4 minutes to go. 48-33 and a timeout called by Atlanta.
Now, Michael definitely could force this shot right here. But keep an eye. Always reward your big guys when they are running the floor and moving without the ball. We'd like to show you this 3-2 offense. Now, right now, it's a little tight. The basketball is right here with Kukoc. Here's Steve Kerr. Now, once the pass was made to Kukoc, they're just blowing the guy through here, even though they have 2 guys in this position, and the pass is simply coming. This is the 2nd time Mookie Blaylock loses his man for an uncontested layup. Now, you say, well, why are they guarding them way out at half court? That's a very good question. Why are they?
Bulls have outscored the Hawks by 9 in the second quarter, and Michael Jordan hasn't scored a point for Chicago. Mutombo blocked by Rodman.
Well, I'll tell you, this is the best that we have seen him moving from side to side with lateral movement. That's tonight. Remember, no brace on Dennis Rodman.
And it couldn't come at a better time for Dennis Rodman, who the Bulls all feel they'll need him in the next series. If it is New York, you're leading Miami 3-1. That game tomorrow night, by the way, on TNT. Leitner firing from 3 and continues to come up empty. He's 0 for 6 from the field. So Leitner, Smith, and Blaylock not shooting it so far tonight for the Hawks, and they needed all 3. Brian Williams from the corner. He's got 9 off the bench and a 17-point Bulls lead, threatening to break this one open here in the first half.
With Brian Williams at the center position, this unit out on the floor can fly because he can fill a lane and then run backdoor exchange. Great
steal by Jordan.
Look at it.
That's what they come to see. Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan with his first points of the second quarter. He has 12 in the game, and the Bulls are on a 10-0 run. Leitner finally hits after missing his first 6. And the Bulls lead is 52-35, under 2.5 to play in the first half.
Now, in this first half, there's very little movement offensively by the Hawks. Anytime that you're an excellent defensive team like Chicago, you are making the rotations easy for Chicago.
Rodman. He gets another 3. And this is a big unveiling for Dennis Rodman tonight in the playoffs. Tyrone Corbin comes right back. And it's 55-38. That was a 3 for Corbin with under 2 minutes to go. But Dennis Rodman exploding and getting a chance, and I'm sure he's feeling better about his situation.
Well, you know what's nice? No confrontations here this evening. No in your face. No smacking people. He's just playing basketball, and that's all the teammates have asked him to do. Just play the game and stop with all of the side circus stuff.
Ryan Williams keeps it alive with another offensive rebound. Leitner is covering Rodman as if he led the league in threes. Now, after hitting 2, 10 for Dennis Rodman in this first half, giving the crowd a thrill. Here is Jordan trying to go around Leitner, feeding Williams. And finally, it winds up in Mutombo's hands with 1:05 remaining. But it's been a glorious Chicago Bull first half. Eldridge Recasner misses from downtown. Under a minute remaining. And they've done it without Pippen being an offensive force. Steve Kerr from downtown. That's 5 3-point baskets for the Chicago Bulls in this first half, and a big 20-point Bulls. Eldridge Recasner going baseline, finding Leitner open, and Leitner hits his second in a row. I want to remind you, coming up on the Nike halftime report, Ernie and PJ Carlesimo will have a wrap-up of Game 5 between the Sonics and Rockets, one earlier tonight on TNT by Seattle to stay alive. 12 on the shot clock. Jordan fouled and will go to the line.
The Bulls could never have written a better script than what is unfolded here this evening. When you think of Luke Longley, Brian Williams, Dennis Rodman, Kukoc and Kerr, what they have done is sensational. Their ball movement, their defense, their defensive rebounding. It's really exciting in here.
This is a team that struggled in its first 5 playoff games, turned it on over the weekend, and seemed to be peaking at the right time, getting set for what should be a grueling Eastern Conference final. And, of course, the Bulls want to close it out tonight and get the rest, knowing that the Knicks lead Miami 3-1. And, of course, they're hoping that that series is extended. The Chicago Bulls have scored 28 points off the bench already in this game. Recasner with a lay-in with 17.5.
Recasner and Henderson have been 2 bright spots for Atlantic, night in and night out, off the bench.
Final seconds of the first half, and the Chicago Bulls will get a rousing send-off at intermission. Loose ball controlled by Leitner, and a foul is called with 0.8 of a second.
Good call.
Leitner was fouled, and the Bulls are over the limit, so they'll be Leitner going to the free throw line.
Now you're going to see it as it bounces out here right now. Leitner is banged into from the rear from Scottie Pippen. Could not put on the brakes in time.
.8 of a second remaining in the first half.
In Game 3, Chicago beats Atlanta in Atlanta 100-80. In Game 4, 89-80. At halftime here tonight, 44 points.
You talked about the third quarter. That's when the Bulls have played their best. Pippen does not go, and that is the end of the first half. Dennis Rodman hitting 2 from downtown has 10. Jordan with 14 leads, and this crowd more than delighted with what the Bulls have shown at the end of the first half here at the United Center. The Bulls, who need one more win to close it out, lead the Atlanta Hawks by a score of 60-44.
Got it all together, and the major thing, only 1 foul.
Right now, let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Dick, Leitner, Blaylock, and Smith just 7 of 24. I talked to Lenny Wilkins. He said he thought the team rushed shots, had poor execution, and did not set screens. I said, do they keep shooting? He goes, with good shooters, you always keep shooting. He related a story when he was with St. Louis. Bob Pettit was 0 for 10 at the half, came in the locker room and said, I'm going to hit my next 10 shots. And he did. I said, did you relate that story to your team? He said, I'm afraid they asked me who Bob Pettit was.
And you know what? They would.
Yeah, they would. And he only made the first team all NBA power forward 10 straight years. Was one of the top 50 players in the league. Lenny had the privilege of playing on that great ball club that they had in St. Louis, Bob Pettit, and until Larry Bird came along, and now Malone, the best power forward ever to play the game.
And at LSU, and the Hawks beat the Celtics for the NBA championship in 1958.
He could do it all.
Yes, he could. Christian Leitner misses, and that drops. It'll count for the basket for Leitner in the first half. Corbin had 10, Mutombo 9. Now Leitner has 10 points. Jordan with 14, and Rodman with 10, the leading scorers for the Bulls. They have Pippen, Longley, Caffey, Harper, and Jordan. Scottie Pippen off the glass, and he has only 6 points, so we haven't seen the best of Scottie Pippen's offense yet.
Well, Pippen has 4 assists, 3 rebounds. He's only 3 for 10 from the floor, but everyone else is functioning.
Steve Smith with a 3. Smith with his first from downtown, only 6 points in the game, but the Hawks trailing by 12, so they made up some points in the first minute of play here in the third.
Well, let's see if the Hawks can knock Chicago off their stride in the third quarter here now. Switch, keep them outside, only allow 1 offensive shot attempt. Let's see if they can continue to keep it rolling here.
The Bulls have 10 seconds to attempt a shot. Ron Harper squaring up for 3. Pippen gets the ball over Corbin. So the Bulls with another possession. Bulls needing to win here to wrap it up in 5 and get ready for the survivor of the Miami Heat New York Knicks series. That stands 3-1 New York with Game 5 tomorrow night on TNT at 8 o'clock. Rebound by Mutombo on Jordan Smith. 7 rebounds for Mutombo. So the Hawks trying to cut into the Bulls' lead early here in the third.
Well, you'd like to see some execution now. That was an excellent screen for Smith.
Smith missing from downtown. And here come the Bulls. It is Smith guarding Pippen.
Guard around.
Corbin on Jordan, gets away from Corbin and misses the shot. Here is Mookie Blaylock with the rebound.
Well, you get a field goal right here, you're in business.
And they're in business, I guess, because Ty Corbin has hit from the corner. Corbin now with 12 points. And it's a 62-52 game, and so far the crowd has been out of it. The Hawks staging a third quarter rally.
I tell you, Luke Longley continues to pop people here.
Harper goes up, basket counts, and a foul. Good first step by Ron Harper.
Luke Longley is making his presence felt. We told you that he only has 4 points, but he's got 8 rebounds. This is a nice solid drive by Harper. No rotation by the Hawks. But he is pushing, elbowing, forearming Mutombo and anyone who is cutting by him when he sets up in the post area.
Corbin with his 3rd personal foul. Ron Harper with the 3-point play. Harper has 11, and he has scored in double figures in 4 of the 5 games. So they've got good production from Harper.
Yeah, and no one is talking about him in the newspaper. Everyone's talking about everyone else. He's done an excellent job on Blaylock in games 3, 4, and 5, and he's putting the points on the board.
Leitner with a strong move to the hoop. So Leitner coming out with 5 of his 12 points here in the third quarter. They have yet to complete 3 minutes.
Hey, this is it. Either you do it right now or you go on vacation for another 5 months.
Jordan guarded by Smith with 10 on the shot clock. Caffey in the low post. Pippen fires away and misses the 3. Jordan with a tip and a foul. Loose ball foul is called, and Tyrone Corbin arguing with the official, and he has picked up his 4th personal foul. 4 on Corbin.
Now, Dick, in the first half, Chicago out-rebounds Atlanta by 11. 10 on the offensive board. Now, I know Corbin's upset. He should be, because he had inside position on Jordan, and Jordan went right up over the top of him on that play.
Pippen gets it in to Jordan, posting up against Smith, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Atlanta. Michael Jordan with 14 points thus far in the game. A lot of his production has been from defense and rebounding. That's what his contribution has been to a great deal so far in the series up to tonight. Jordan finds Pippen. Pippen working against Corbin. Longley wide open, and this is the shot. Normally he makes it when he's that wide open.
That's a good possession for the Hawks. You come up here right now, work and stay within. Try to get some movement here now, because anytime you use movement, you're getting good chances.
Longley trying to overplay Mutombo, and now the Hawks have it under double digits. It's a 9-point lead, and Atlanta coming out strong, and less than 4 minutes gone by already in the third, and the Hawks making a run here. Pippen trying to get 3, and the rebound by Corbin.
Keep pushing here now.
Well, you can't count the Hawks out, as evidenced by the 4th quarter in game 4. They came from 22 down to trail by only 3 with 50-some-odd seconds remaining.
They're always a threat because of their three-point opportunities that they'll push, and hopefully they're one of the great streak shooting teams in the league. Now keep an eye here now. See Luke Longley, bad mistake. Okay, you just cannot gamble at that angle because once you miss, Mutombo has the dunk.
Jason Caffey picking up his 3rd personal foul, the first Bull player to get 3. It is a 9-point lead.
Blaylock lost his dribble right, Dick.
And Mutombo helped him out. Leitner with the runner is short. The rebound by Caffey. And as he said, plenty of time. Leitner put it up. But Atlanta 5 of 7 shooting here in the quarter. Jordan just lingering in the corner. 9 on the clock. Pippen with a wild shot. Caffey gets the offensive rebound. There's another offensive rebound. And Jordan is telling the Bulls just to settle down.
Yeah, that's Pippen's 4th 3. He's now 0 for 4.
And Longley gets free on the pass from Jordan. Longley with 6 points, and the lead is 11.
Luke Longley was going to come up for what we call a guard around play. Mutombo tried to beat him to the spot. Longley changed direction.
And Corbin gets inside for the layup. So Tyrone Corbin, who did not score in Sunday's Game 4, has 14 points, matching his output in Game 1. 67-58, the Bulls by 9, and this is the 5th game of the series.
Offensive foul. Oh, that could have gone either way. And I want to tell you, Mutombo is a good case here. Luke Longley catches him with an elbow. Maybe something preceded that. I just happened to see it out of the corner of my eye. Now keep an eye to the left. Luke Longley backdoors here, and Mutombo lost contact with him for the lob dunk.
Very nearly lost his temper as well.
Michael Jordan with the basketball right here. Mutombo is straight arming Luke Longley. As Longley comes across to set the screen, watch Mutombo come and belly up, and then Longley shed him with his right forearm. Now keep an eye. See, he knocks the arm down. All right, now watch. See, as he does that, the referee calls a foul on Mutombo, and you can see why Mutombo is upset. Unnecessary forearm movement by Mutombo, but then a shedding by Longley.
6.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Bulls leading by 9, despite the fact that Jordan and Pippen are 9 for 28. Jordan gets the easy layup on the lob, and he has 16 points. He is the game-high scorer. Corbin has 14 to lead the Hawks. Smith, and he throws up a wild 3. So Steve Smith's shooting woes continue here in the second half.
You know, it's sad in this game, Dick. It's the fact that Chicago very easily just backdooring their men and catching it and dunking the ball.
Jordan is short with that, and Caffey winds up with it. He rushed his shot, and Caffey has an open Luke Longley. Throws up an air ball, but it's off the foot of Steve Smith, out of bounds, and the Hawks just can't get a break, it seems, and it'll be Chicago ball.
There's a very patient man, a very patient man.
Fortunately, his team.
Yeah, he's hoping that Steve Smith will come out of it right now. Now, with that offensive rebound, Chicago now has 15 offensive rebounds, and we have 18 minutes more to go in this game.
Lead is 11 for the Bulls, 69-58. Their biggest lead was 20. Pippen off a Longley screen off the glass. Scottie Pippen with his 2nd basket here in the second half. 4 of 14 shooting. Bulls are leading by 71-58 despite getting a good shooting night so far from Pippen. 12 on the shot clock. Harper is guarding Blaylock. He's done a good job on him since Game 3. Blaylock misses from the corner, and the rebound taken down by Jason Caffey. Michael Jordan.
They're just doing a very nice job on Blaylock coming across the top of the screens. They're stepping out. They're saying no 3.
Harper missing, and Mutombo and Longley fighting for the loose ball, and Blaylock winds up with it. The Bulls back defensively. Corbin open for the jumper, and Tyrone Corbin, you don't expect the big offense from him, but he is 7 of 8 from the field and 16 points tonight.
Oh, they need it because of the inconsistency of Leitner and Steve Smith. You know, the peripheral guys have got to step up here and play big if they're going to make a strong run.
4:35 remaining in the 3rd. Ron Harper from the corner misses, and The Hawks, who are trailing by 11 with under 4.5 to go. Here's Blaylock hitting from downtown, and the Bulls lead now is 71-63, and Phil Jackson wants a timeout.
Excellent timeout. You have to break up this run right now. Mookie Blaylock comes from the right of your screen right now, off the screen by Leitner, opening it up. That's one of the few times that he has been open in the open floor.
Everything is off.
Call your cable operator today and ask about
Sensational first half when he had 10 points, 2 for 2 for threes, 7 rebounds, and only 1 personal foul. As you pointed out, Dennis Rodman just plays and doesn't worry about the cute stuff. The Bulls are very happy, and sure he is.
Well, you know who else is happy? The referees are happy. Just play. That's all. That's all we're asking you to do. Play like everyone else plays in the league.
Jordan firing away from downtown. Michael Jordan with his first from 3 when he has not been effective from downtown, but he hit one there and has 19 points. And the Bulls are up by 11. Hawks had it to the closest since the minute into the second quarter a moment ago. Steve Smith misses a 3, and Harper gets the rebound. Here's Jordan, makes the move against Corbin on the baseline. The basket counts, and he's fouled. A very quick move by Michael Jordan, who is checked in now with 21.
Well, Michael Jordan is only struggling in one part of his game, and that's the three-point shooting. He's 1 for 4 tonight, came into the game 1 for 12. Now this is Michael on a dime. Smith is right up in there, but he catches him on the left elbow.
Steve Smith with the personal foul, and Michael Jordan now with 22 points. That was his third three-point play the old-fashioned way before they had the arc, making the basket, getting the foul, and going to the line to complete it. So the Bulls are up again by 14. Oh, man, what a foul. Leitner loses it out of bounds. So again, the Hawks, after making a run early here in the third quarter, are looking lethargic once more. 11 turnovers by Atlanta. That's been one of their big problems throughout the last 2 games.
Oh, very good, Dick. They had 18 turnovers in Game 3, 16 in Game 4, and during that period of time, Chicago Bulls were right around 12 and 13. So you're picking up extra shots.
Bulls turned it over in that instance, and the Hawks with it again as we have 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The screen and roll, but Longley is all over Leighton. 9 on the shot clock. Hawks trying to manufacture an offense here, and Leitner with a fadeaway has 14 points. He is second to Corbin's 16. Bulls by 12. And there's Rodman, who had the ball knocked away, and it's into the hands now of Mookie Blaylock. So the Hawks still lurking here. Leitner against Michael Jordan lost the ball with Rodman.
Now that was not 3 by Michael Jordan.
Under 2.5 to play in the third. The Bulls 77, Hawks 65. The Bulls led by 16 at the half. Jordan with 2 defenders on him. He had Smith behind him, Blaylock in front of him. No matter, 24 for Michael Jordan.
Well, I think what you have to like is anytime that Blaylock gets caught up with Michael, Michael runs him right into the post. Keep an eye. There's Michael gambling. Leitner thought that he got fouled, did not run back on defense, and it lost him at the other end of the floor.
Blaylock looking for Mutombo on the post-up, and a repost situation to Mutombo, and a foul before the shot.
Yeah, I'm happy that Mutombo finally dropped step and went baseline on him, because Luke Longley is putting all of that weight, 290 pounds, taking away the lane. He's not going to let him get to the lane.
Each team with 4 fouls here in this third quarter, so there'll be the penalty situation on the next foul by both clubs. Blaylock. Smith shooting with Jordan in his face, and he misses again from 3. Here is Dennis Rodman. He's going to try another 3. This crowd would have erupted had he made it. He's already made 2 tonight. 79-65, the Bulls by 14, 120 remaining here in the third quarter. And Mookie Blaylock now with 14 points, cutting the lead to 12.
That was a very tough play because Pippen was on Blaylock in transition, and Scotty followed him over the top. Almost got to him.
Michael Jordan, double team. Bulls swinging around. 5 on the 24-second clock. Jordan is double teamed, gets it to Longley as the shot clock runs out. So Bulls could not get a shot off, and Jordan is complaining to Ed T. Rush that he was fouled.
Yeah, he was all upset. He thought they got sandwiched that time, and that they, raped at his arms. That's what he was calling about.
Jordan has scored the last 8 points for the Bulls, who are up by 12. Getting close to a half a minute remaining in this third quarter. 10 on the shot clock for Atlanta. Laettner working against Rodman. And illegal defense called against the Bulls. That's the first call tonight. Right now, let's take a look at tonight's Chevy scoreboard. The Sonics beat the Rockets earlier. And the Game 6 will be Thursday night. The Rockets lead 3-2, and they'll have to go out to the Key Arena in Seattle for Game 6. Stay tuned for Inside the NBA with virtual Vince Cellini, as he's known now. Cheryl Miller will join him following the game. 18 on the shot clock, differential of less than 4 seconds for the Hawks. Laettner blocked by Rodman, who picks up his second. And Laettner shaken up slightly as he hits the deck, and this will be a shooting foul.
Now, right now, Rodman is challenged. It's the first time tonight that he has gone after and said anything to a referee. Now, just watch as Laettner drop steps here, and he goes to the baseline. You can see Rodman has him on the hip area, tried for the charge by getting in front. Good call by Joe Forte right there. Just keep an eye right there.
Joe Forte discussing things with Phil Jackson. And Laettner 3 of 4 at the line so far tonight. This is the first. Steve Kerr will come in for Ron Harper. Kerr has 7 points, all in the second quarter, including a basket from downtown.
Well, you had to love that bench production. 28 points, and they were 12 for 19 from the field.
15 for Laettner. So the front court all in double figures. Blaylock 14. That's the way the Hawks normally have it, with 4 in doubles. Trailing by 11. Final seconds of this third quarter. Pippen to Longley. And Rodman misses, and you hate to use the cliche, there was a lid on the basket, but it looked that way in that instance as the third quarter comes to an end.
Well, how about the fact that Dennis Rodman gets 2 offensive rebounds in that period of time?
Michael Jordan, 24 points with a big third quarter. And after 3, the Bulls lead the Hawks 79-68.
A nice drop-off pass by Pippen. Luke Longley puts his shoulder right into Laettner. Misses this easy bunny. Keep an eye on Rodman. 1 tap. Now watch this. Keep an eye on Rodman. Don't watch the ball. He thinks he's got 2. He turns around. Cannot believe that he missed that easy shot.
Dennis, guess what? Dennis Rodman celebrating his 36th birthday with 10 points, 9 rebounds, only 2 personal fouls. Hawks shot 63% in the third quarter to cut a 16-point deficit to 11. 24-19 edge by Atlanta. Kukoc in the game for the Bulls, guarded by Corbin. Kukoc with an up and under has it rejected by Mutombo. And with 4 seconds on the clock, Chicago still has possession.
Now, right now, Chicago has their 4 substitutes on the floor with Scottie Pippen. This group was terrific in the first half.
That's Williams, Kerr, and Rodman. Pippen. And Williams gets the offensive rebound. That's another one for the Chicago Bulls. They have murdered the Hawks off the offensive glass tonight. Pippen throws the ball away. Williams was driving toward the basket.
They have at least 18 second shot attempts, and we still have 11 and a half minutes to go.
Tyrone Corbin still leading the Hawks with 16, Laettner 15. Blaylock 14 and Mutombo 11. Good balance for the Hawks, but Steve Smith only 6 points. And he has really come up empty so far in this one. Kerr guarding Blaylock, and the basket counts in a foul. Mookie Blaylock with kind of of a windmill hook for him. Fouled by Kerr, trying to complete a three-point play.
Now this is just a very strong move, and he gets knocked off balance by Kerr. You're going to see it right there. Caught him on the hip. Mookie, it's not a hook. It's not a push shot. It's an in-betweener. All he knows, he's got a chance for three.
Mookie Blaylock with a career playoff high 31 points in the losing effort in game one, and the Bulls lead has been cut to 8, 79-71 with a minute gone by in the fourth.
Every time you're sitting here, you're watching the game, you think Chicago's ahead by 25. The Hawks keep bringing it down, going back up, bringing it down. This is a great opportunity right now.
Williams to Kukoc. There's that triangle offense. Run to perfection. Tony Kukoc from downtown. And it's 82-71.
They sent the man from the top on the split. Came over. The Hawks cheated and went underneath the screen, opening up Kukoc.
Minute and a half has gone by. And there is Mookie Blaylock hitting a three. Blaylock getting the hot hand here in the fourth quarter. Has 6 points already. 3 downtown as Michael Jordan gets some rest. And it's an 8-point game again.
Well, there's a murmur going through the crowd here. They said, my gosh, this looks like game 1 and 2 together.
Well, Mutombo said he thought his team might have quit in the fourth quarter of game 3. That might have been an overreaction, but Lenny Wilkins says this team does not quit, and they have not shown any evidence of that as Scottie Pippen gets into double figures.
Corbin is not allowing Pippen to get to the middle of the floor, but in doing so, he's letting Scottie get that 1-2 dribble and the elevation for that shot.
Here is Steve Smith, and finally, after going 1 of his first 6 from downtown, Smith cuts the Bulls lead to 7. At one point, it was 20 late in the second quarter.
If Smitty's going to get hot, now's the time.
Kerr now picked up by Corbin on the switch. 10 on the shot clock for the Bulls. And now the ball knocked away, and let's see if they call Mutombo for the foul on Brian Williams, and they will. That's 2 on Dikembe Mutombo.
That's a tough break for Atlanta because the clock was going down. The pass went in. They had a chance for a deflection by Mutombo. Instead, they get the foul call.
But the Hawks are making another fourth quarter run. And here is tonight's Dutch boy in the paint, and painted red and black, the colors of the Chicago Bulls. Actually, colors of the Hawks as well. But look at those numbers, Hubie.
It's just a dominance in the total rebounds, but the offensive rebounds. And then Bulls in the paint. And remember, the Hawks are only losing by 7. Kind of amazing. Now, I'd like to show you the triangle. The ball is in the pivot. There goes your back door. Kerr's going to come through and set a screen. Kukoc is going to come in here and watch the defender fall down. Now, this is just basic basketball. Back door, look for him, nothing, set a screen. Hawks could have switched, they didn't. Opens up Kukoc, in your face 3. Now keep an eye on Steve Smith at the bottom of the screen. You're going to see that as the ball gets knocked around, Steve Smith steps on Kerr, and he's a little tender right now.
Kukoc open and feeds Rodman, who's fouled. Kukoc could have shot it, but he went to Rodman instead. Right now, let's get a report from Craig Sager.
All right, thanks, Dick. I was talking to Steve Smith as he was on the bench. He said that he thought maybe the tape broke on his ankle and he relaced his shoe, but Hubie's right. He's not very comfortable with it right now. You can tell it's still bothering him.
Good foul by Steve. Good foul on Dennis Rodman. Force him to make the shots.
And he makes the first one. Rodman is making everything tonight on his birthday. Knicks and Heat tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. What about that series, Hubie? It's been a tough defensive series so far.
Yeah, but you like the movement of the Knicks. There's more movement in their offense. Last night starts at the top of the game. The main key guys are scoring. They're getting good balance scoring. Excellent half-court defense, but the difference between the two, more movement in the half-court sets by the Knicks.
8 o'clock on TNT tomorrow from Miami. Blaylock misses, and Kukoc the rebound. This is where the Hawks don't want to rush their offense too much when they were down by 7. Now it is a 9-point game. Michael Jordan is yet to appear here in this fourth quarter, and they're collision, but no foul, and it's last touched by the Hawks. There's Jordan on the bench. He has 24 points in the game, had 10 in the third quarter. It'll be Chicago ball with 9 seconds on the clock and a 20-second timeout called by the Bulls.
Yeah, that's a good call by Phil. Phil, they know that they're going to have the ball out of bounds on his side. He's trying to get maximum performance by his club in this last 9 seconds.
Well, Dikembe Mutombo, the Hawks are hoping that he comes up big in the fourth quarter, and he has had problems in the critical fourth quarter in all 4 games.
Yeah, but you're looking at it, Dick. He's not getting any field goal attempts. And if you look at it, he's only got 6 shot attempts in 4 games in the fourth quarter. You can say, well, he's not getting anything done. But once again, if you hit him on the move, it's better than him trying to get in a wrestling match with their centers.
Pippen fouled.
Oh,
and that'll be 3 shots. Steve Smith.
Wow.
With a costly foul. That will be 5 on Steve Smith.
Well, I think that's what Phil Jackson drew up over there. He said, now remember, if you take a 3, make sure you get fouled. Right here, you can see Steve Smith catches Pippen on the elbow.
3 shots coming up for Scottie Pippen. Christian Laettner is going to come into the game. And Alan Henderson will go out. Smith remains in with 5.
Now, once again, peaks and valleys. The Hawks get it to 7. Bulls very quietly moving it back. Right now it's 10, potential 11. And it's interesting because they take it to 12, 13, 14. Boom, the Hawks bring it right back again. And we've just been seeing that throughout the second half.
Scottie Pippen, with his first trip to the line tonight, has made the first 2 of 3 free throws and can boost the Bulls to an 12-point lead.
Well, tonight, the Hawks staying with a 7-man rotation. With Cashman and Henderson off the bench. Bulls going with a solid 9-man rotation, and everyone is making a contribution.
13 points for Scottie Pippen. Starting to come on offensively. 12-point lead for the Chicago Bulls with 8:20 to go in the fourth quarter. And, this could be the deciding game of this series. Steve Smith off the screen misses a 3. Topped out of bounds. Oh, wow. Last touch by the Bulls. Dennis Rodman acted, looking at his arm, might have been scratched.
Yeah, you know what I like? That was an explosion. And we have not seen him do that in games 1, 2, 3, and 4. That ligament damage to the knee, which, you know, he missed so many ball games at the end of the season. You know, 27 for the game, but down the stretch, he was not available because of the injury. Good hands by Kukoc.
And Jordan, as you saw, came into the game, and he should be very fresh down the stretch, leading Kukoc, and he's fouled.
I tell you, Michael tonight has broken into the paint, below the dotted line, elevated, and in each instance could have forced the shot, and instead he drops it off to another player. And that's just great basketball. His assists are mounting up throughout the series, and tonight already 5.
And of course, you talked about at the top of the game about his rebounding, leading the Bulls in rebounding. And Michael Jordan knows that he can contribute in a lot of ways. It doesn't only have to be points, although he has done that as well. He's averaging 31 in the playoffs, and only the top scorer.
Well, you're apologizing because he's only averaging 27 in the series.
Right. Okay. He'll get that up before it's over. 91-77, so before you know it, the Hawks, who are down by 7, are trailing by 14. Bulls raise their lead in a hurry. Ball knocked away off of Mutombo. Williams with good hustle got it deflected off of Dikembe Mutombo.
Now keep an eye right here. Ooh, there's a battle. Now that's an exchange of 2 guys who wanted that inside space. Mutombo, Rodman, both delivered forearms.
Here's Jordan with a look missing and a loose ball foul. And that will go against the Bulls, and Tony Kukoc with his second foul. At this point, the Bulls have 2 team fouls and the Hawks have 4. And if the Atlanta Hawks are going to make another run to keep their season alive, whatever slim chance they have of that, they should not waste much time. 91-77, the Bulls in front. Under 7.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Kukoc tips it out of bounds. And it's still Atlanta ball.
Anytime they hit Laettner at the top of the circle, they're running a back screen to the right side of the floor. Kukoc played that beautifully.
Leitner looking inside, finds Steve Smith. Corbin is wide open for three, and he's got it. Tyrone Corbin with his third from downtown. He's got 19.
Oh, he's had such a strong game this evening. And it's always nice to see him do well because he played here his basketball at DePaul University.
And he hasn't been the bricklayer, not shooting 8 of 9 from the field in this game. That's what Ray Meyer used to call him, jokingly, in his early years with the Blue Demons. Steve Kerr leaves it for Brian Williams, and Williams hits. Big addition to the Chicago Bulls, Brian Williams, and he's going to help them if they do play either New York or Miami in the next round. Smith posting up against Michael Jordan, gets the double team, and Leitner goes in and is fouled. Dennis Rodman with a little push after that.
That was a good foul. Good strong foul by Dennis. Leitner came from the other side when the pivot man was double teamed. Show you the basketball's here in the post. Watch Williams come and double team. As his man steps to the dotted line looking for a pass, Rodman rotates up and plays him. His man, Leitner, is wide open and goes to the basket. This is just reading your man. Good defensive rotation by Rodman. Opens up Leitner. Too slow. Rodman is going to foul you, force you to make the 2 foul shot.
And Leitner will go to the free throw line here. Talk about Dennis Rodman and what he has meant. A true barometer for the Bulls tonight. He has played 29 minutes, and the Bulls have outscored the Hawks by 20 when Dennis Rodman has been in the game.
It's all they've asked. That's all the players. Pippen, Jordan, just play the game. The people all want him to play the game with all of the antics. They like it. They think it's exciting. It's a very major distraction, and we're seeing it tonight. He's playing at his best. No confrontations, doing it all.
Leitner with the free throws has 17, and the Bulls with the ball lead by 11. 6:20 remaining, and there is Rodman beating Brian Williams. Good ball movement, but no payoff at the offensive end for the Bulls.
Plenty of time here for the Hawks.
Double team on Steve Smith. Tough pass. He wanted to go cross court against the quick team. Kerr intercepted it, and Brian Williams goes inside, and it's a block by Leitner. Kukoc with a 3 misses, and Corbin is fouled by Brian Williams. That'll be a loose ball foul.
Yeah, Brian Williams is showing his arm to Eddie Rush, telling him, I was fouled on the last play. And he says, but that was a good call by Eddie Rush.
But the welt is still there, though, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a good drop-off. You're going to see, as it goes up right now, Brian Williams gets raked on his right arm. You can see him. He's saying, I just got fouled. Kukoc shoots up. Now watch Brian come right down inside. Of course, he crashes into Corbin, but I want to plead my case one more time.
It's called an appeals court there. 11-point lead with under 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Smith leaves it for Leitner, wide open. And Leitner now with 19 points.
Here they come again.
Christian Leitner has scored 12 points in the second half, and it's a 9-point lead again. So the Hawks are making what could be their final run of the season.
Mutombo pushed Brian Williams on that guard around. Now that time, anytime that Chicago comes back to the top, they hit the forward who is coming up, and they run a guard around. Now just keep an eye on Mutombo. As Williams holds it off, see, he pushed. You can see him push Brian Williams. The referee's right on top of the play, and unfortunately, they're in the penalty.
That was on Blaylock. They gave it to Mookie. That's 3, and you're right, the penalty situation for the Hawks. The Bulls, next foul for Chicago will put them in the penalty. Steve Kerr going to the line, not only for the first time in this game, but for the first time in this series. Inside the NBA coming up next. Vince Cellini, Cheryl Miller recap all of tonight's action and preview tomorrow's big game 5 between the Knicks and the Heat. And you know the Sonics won tonight to keep that series alive. They'll play Thursday in Seattle with the Rockets, game 6. Steve Smith around the screen with a runner, and the lead now is 9 again, 95-86, winding down to 5 minutes to go.
That's such a very difficult shot to make, and he shoots it at a high percentage. An awful lot like a great scorer from the old ABA days and then in the NBA, George Gervin, could shoot that shot off of the front foot.
Scottie Pippen throwing the air ball up, and it'll be Atlanta's ball. Gervin, of course, a prolific scorer with the San Antonio Spurs in both the ABA and the NBA. Well, the Hawks, trailing by 9 with under 5 minutes to go, have hit 6 of 8 from the field. So they've gotten hot at the right time. They're trying to stay alive, avoid elimination, but an offensive foul is called.
Christian Laettner set a back screen for Blaylock. Now just watch how he sets the screen. He sets the screen, and now as he starts to go, see how Rodman had him? Rodman had him with his arm, and Laettner, you see, you can't do that. You got to ride through it. You say, well, he's being feisty. He's creating all this. He got the call.
Kerr misses a 3, and the rebound into the hands of Mutombo. Rodman is all over Dikembe and gets the ball away from him. He took it away from Dikembe Mutombo, and the Bulls get it back. Here is Scottie Pippen back in the game.
Well, the threat of Mutombo.
Jordan misses from outside. Brian Williams crashes the boards. And the Bulls, if they win this game, credit the offensive rebounding.
Wow.
Scottie Pippen with the lay-in.
Watch out now.
And Jordan is pushing Rodman away. And a timeout is called by Atlanta. And Michael Jordan pushed Dennis Rodman away at least 15 feet.
Now Mutombo wanted. That was a confrontation. Mutombo's out there talking to the 3 referees. Now keep an eye right here. You see Rodman is bellying him up. Now this is the one that he steals right there. But the confrontation happens after this, right before the timeout. I'd like to show you the action. Here is Pippen with the basketball. Right here, you're going to see Rodman come around on the shot as it goes upside. Watch the collision with Mutombo, and Mutombo throwing him to the floor. Now just keep an eye on this. Now Rodman is looking. He goes to block out, and then Mutombo catches him with a forearm. Now as they bounce up, Rodman gets in the face to say something to Mutombo, and Michael Jordan steps in front and pushes him away. And you can see he says to Michael Jordan, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Craig Sager.
Dikembe Mutombo's been yelling to the officials. He's been saying, I want to win this game. I do not want to go home. Give us a chance to win this game. I don't want to go home.
Yeah, but in that last possession, Mutombo put Rodman down on the floor. No doubt about it.
3:49 remaining. And a foul, and that'll put the Bulls into the penalty. That is against Rodman, his 4th. Speaking of Mutombo, he has not had a field goal attempt here in this 4th quarter. He has turned it over twice, 2 personal fouls, and once again, Mutombo is not to be found in the crunch time.
Yeah, but you know, centers don't get the basketball, Dick, and they can't dribble the basketball. Centers are at the mercy of the perimeter people. They need the ball to be passed to them, or they need screens to catch the ball when they are moving. They're doing nothing for the man, especially in the paint. He's not received 1 screen all night long.
Laettner 8 of 10 from the free throw line, and the lead is 97-88 with 3:46 to go. The Chicago Bulls trying to close out this best-of-7 series in 5 games, and the Hawks standing in their way. Steve Kerr hitting from downtown, and he is the poison dart tonight, perhaps. 12 points for Kerr.
They just set a beautiful double screen to the right side of the floor, and Ree and Steve around that from the right side on the baseline. Beautiful.
Gives the Bulls a 12-point lead. Rodman darting Laettner, trying to post up, spinning inside, and a pushing foul against Rodman, and that'll be 5 on Dennis Rodman.
Well, he's just got to pay attention here now. Just go with the flow. You see, these are the things which he's allowed to get away with for years. Well, now they're not allowing it. Just watch, see? They're not going to let him push down inside here. They're going to hold on. See, they're going no hand checking.
Laettner makes good on the first free throw. So now the big test for Dennis Rodman, and you know that the Bulls and Phil Jackson watching him closely, how he will react to the first stress of the night, picking up his 5th foul.
Now, once again, here they are. They're only down 10. You got 3 minutes to go. They need some excellent defense, and they must hold the Bulls to 1 shot. How about Brian Williams in here through this entire quarter?
Shows you the confidence Phil Jackson has in Brian Williams, who starred with the LA Clippers last year and was a late signee this year. Steal by Mookie Blaylock.
Read that perfectly.
So the Hawks with the ball, down by 10, under 3 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Tyrone Corbin misses the layup, and Mutombo misses the tip. Hawks had a chance.
Yeah, there it is.
And now Rodman and Mutombo have to be separated. And now Rodman going after him again.
Now Kenny,
Double foul.
they call a double foul, and then I'm not sure.
I think Rodman is out.
Yeah, because it's on the other side of the floor. Now, if that's a foul on Rodman, that would be his sixth anyway.
And let's see whether he is fouled out or was ejected.
Now keep an eye
because
on
of his
Rodman.
actions.
Yeah, keep an eye on Rodman right underneath the board, right there. All right, now as Mutombo goes over, now what happens as they're coming back, Mutombo reaches out, and Rodman says, "Hey, what's happening here?" He can't believe because Kenny Maurer calls.
Let's hear what it says here right now, because if it's a foul on both players.
A technical on Mutombo, 2 technicals on Rodman, who's been ejected.
Okay, well, you know, he had to clear that up because that happened away from us, and then he went to the other side of the floor.
Steve Smith will be at the free throw line, and Dennis Rodman, who had a very pleasant birthday and a very pleasant game to a point, now will take off his jersey and give it away.
Now, in his defense, that was once again started by Mutombo by reaching out for him. And he was kind of stunned that the foul was called on him. Now watch right now. You see that elbow come right up. That forearm came up by Mutombo. Rodman was shocked that the referee blew the whistle and called a double foul.
And if you want to know about why it's 2 technicals, the first one was a tee, the second taunting. And that's why he got the second technical and was ejected. 3rd time that he has been ejected. So the technical litany continues to follow Dennis Rodman around. He nearly escaped from this game without getting tossed. Hubie played 33 minutes, had 12 points, 9 rebounds, and he contributed to the big first half lead for the Bulls. 10-point lead for Chicago. They've got the ball. 2.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Jordan misses the turnaround. And here comes Blaylock in the forecourt.
Yeah, that time they had Corbin on Michael as soon as he went into the post.
Corbin firing up from 3, way off the mark. And the Bulls now taking their time. Michael Jordan making sure they will not rush. Winding down to 2 minutes to go. The Bulls looking to wrap up this best-of-7 series in 5 games.
Down the stretch, both teams are shooting the penalty.
Michael Jordan, by the way, is scoreless here in the fourth quarter. Kerr open for 3, and he's got it. Steve Kerr, as he's done so many times, has put the nail in the coffin with a 3. That's his 3rd tonight, 15 in the game, and a brilliant performance by the Bulls bench. It's 103 to 90. And again, a 13-point lead after the Bulls had gotten it down. Leitner misses. And the Bulls in control now. The Hawks made several runs at them, including one here in the fourth quarter. And as the crowd gets on their feet, they know that the Bulls are headed for the Eastern Conference Finals. Ball batted around. It is still a Chicago ball. What a big 3 by Steve Kerr.
He's just had a great night. Once again, we told you, very few shot attempts in the 4 previous games. Tonight, he's standing around, coming off double screens, catching back screens, going into the corner, and he is on fire.
The Bulls bench has outscored the Hawks reserves 45-6 tonight.
But remember now, the Hawks only play for Kasner and Henderson, and we have seen them in limited minutes tonight, whereas at the Chicago end, their big 4 are getting major minutes because of their production.
Kukoc will inbound with 9 seconds showing on the clock. Michael Jordan still scoreless here in the fourth, but that really is not important. 24 in the game. The Bulls are headed to a 4-game-1 victory over the Atlanta Hawks. Their only defeat, Game 2, last Thursday here at home. Pippen misses. Williams goes in and he's fouled. And Hubie, the Hawks season coming to an end. And you have to credit Atlanta, 56-win season. They got by Detroit after trailing 2-1 to win 3-2 in 5 games. Some big deals made, and the big acquisition on the free agency to Mutombo. Leitner in a trade, and the Hawks have to be pretty satisfied overall with what they accomplished.
Well, 8 new players out of their 12 on their roster, and you have to give them credit for meshing and then getting 56 wins, even though they struggled on the road with a losing record and also a losing record against teams over 500. And in the Eastern Conference, 5-15 against the top 5 teams in the East. But they stepped up against Detroit, and in this series, every game, you know, we said they lost 2 games, 1 and 4, and they had a chance potentially of winning those games in this series.
They were competitive. Absolutely. No question about it.
But once again, this other team just moves on.
Doug Bushler missing from the corner. Brian Williams keeps it alive. The Bulls made a living tonight off the offensive glass.
If you're going to beat them in that series, you have to stop their second shot attempt.
Here's Judd Bushler hitting a 3 from the corner, adding to the great output by the bench tonight. They have never played better than tonight, that bench for the Bulls.
Well, their movement has been absolutely sensational.
25 offensive rebounds as well. Count the basket. Michael Jordan, by the way, in 40 minutes tonight had 24 points, 7 rebounds. And did not score in the 4th quarter, and the Bulls will have a good rest before game 1, whenever that will be, in the Eastern Conference Final.
Well, you look at it, Dick, very little from Pippen, 0 from Jordan in points in the 4th quarter. You withstand 2 runs by Atlanta, and you walk away with a 15-point win.
So the Chicago Bulls have eliminated the Atlanta Hawks, winning tonight 107-92 to win the series in 5. Right now, let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Michael, this is the best we've seen the Bulls so far in the playoffs. The ball movement, the offensive rebounding. Why did everything come together tonight?
I think we're starting to find a rhythm to play at. You know, we're getting some of our guys healthy, you know, which means a lot. You know, we're getting out and playing with a lot of different groups, and the groups getting accustomed to playing with each other. And defensively, we're playing with a lot of intensity, and, you know, we're moving the ball very well.
You came out from the beginning very aggressively. The dunk over to Kembe, you went like this, no. Is that something you're going to regret?
No, yeah, I do regret that because it's a technical foul, and, you know, in retrospect, I'm giving the other team a point, you know. So, you know, I guess we spoke at the All-Star game. He said I never dunked on him, so I just wanted to remind him that I could still dunk on him.
It's a personal feud.
Yeah, a little bit.
What about Dennis? You had to push him away once. He had a great game, was in the flow, did everything he was supposed to do basketball-wise, but then lost the temper at the end.
Dennis brings a lot of energy to the game, and sometimes that's uncontrollable. You know, in that certain situation when he got kicked out of the game, I thought Mutombo threw a punch at him, and, you know, he reacted, you know, and, you know, he just got to learn how to walk away. And even if he does walk away, you know, they're going to see him in the altercation, and certainly he's going to get penalized. But, you know, we still maintain our control and not really let that affect us.
Thanks a lot. Enjoy the day off tomorrow. Now let's go to the table with Scottie Pippen.
Scottie, you got to be really pleased at the fact that this team, of course, really gelled over the weekend. But tonight, I think you took another step.
Well, we did. We felt like, you know, coming into the night's game that we wanted to put this series to sleep. We wanted to come out and play hard and play aggressive. We knew the Hawks were going to come out and try to run us tonight, and we tried to do the same to some respect, but, you know, we outplayed them tonight on both ends.
Scottie, the bench. Tell us about how you feel about the bench production. We've been blowing so much smoke on them because they were on fire tonight.
Well, our bench has been strong for us all season. I guess I could say for the last couple seasons. The guys like Tony, and now with Dennis over there, some added energy, so spurt coming off the bench. They got a big lift. Steve Kerr's going to come off and knock shots and be very consistent for us. Brandon's going to do the defense, so we feel very good about our defense and our bench as well.
How about Brian Williams, the X factor?
Brian has been great for us. He's been a great addition to our basketball team. He's came in, he's worked hard, and he's beginning to learn his system, and the more he learns it, the better he's getting for us.
You know, you made some defensive changes, Scottie, in this setup where you moved over onto Steve Smith and you moved Harper over on Blaylock. Can you say enough about that?
Well, I think that was the key to our series. We tried to talk Phil into doing that, and, you know, he's from the old school. He didn't want to change anything before the series started, but we felt good about our matchup with me on Smith because of our size.
Scotty, it appears that you emerging more as a leader, even a vocal leader. Some of the comments that you made after Game 2, outspoken. You haven't been that outspoken in the past, but maybe not a bad thing. Do you feel that perhaps you're getting more comfortable in that role?
Well, I've always been outspoken to my teammates. I just happened to make that one publicly, and I wanted to kind of light a spark up under my teammates and let them know that we had to come out and play in this series. It wasn't going to be an easy cakewalk.
And this team gave you a little competition going into the next round, yes?
Well, they did. They're a good defensive team. Blaylock, Smith, those guys, they're going to make you work hard on the defensive end with those three-point shots, and hopefully they got to prepare it for the next round.
Okay, now what about this? 20 shot attempts a game in this series. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm getting like Mike.
I like Mike. We haven't heard that in a while. All right, Scotty, let's take a look at the brackets now in the Eastern Conference as the Bulls have advanced, beating the Hawks 4-1. They'll play the winner of the Miami-New York series, which moves on tomorrow on TNT. Final